This case starts with a question so disturbing that even the judge sounds genuinely shocked. A defenseless 2-month-old kitten strangled with a rope while the defendant sat at a Sonic drive-in. And what follows inside this courtroom isn't just another sentencing hearing. It turns into a tense psychological breakdown of drugs, mental illness, accountability, and a judge desperately trying to understand how someone crosses a line this horrifying. The defendant claims methamphetamine, bipolar disorder, and homelessness all played a role, but the judge refuses to accept vague excuses. Instead, she keeps pressing for one thing nobody in the courtroom seems able to explain: why? Why would someone go from sitting in a car with 2 playful tabby cats to tying a double knot around one animal's neck? That question hangs over this entire hearing like a dark cloud. What makes this case especially intense is the judge's approach. She's not yelling for drama. She's trying to force the defendant to confront the reality of what happened. And honestly, you can feel the frustration building every single time the defendant says, "I don't know." The court already confirmed she was mentally competent and legally sane at the time of the offense, meaning this isn't a case where insanity removes criminal responsibility. That changes everything. As this hearing unfolds, listen carefully to how the judge balances punishment with concern about public safety. Because by the end of this case, the restrictions imposed by the court go far beyond prison time alone. And trust us, the final warning from the judge may be one of the most chilling moments in the entire hearing.
So why are you strangling a 2-month-old cat?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, I mean, I know you're sorry. You're saying you're sorry you did it. I'm asking why. Being bipolar equal to strangling the cat?
As we said earlier, there's no excuse.
Well, no, I'm asking her.
Sure.
Like, what was your thought process?
I don't have an excuse, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, I know you don't have an excuse, but I'm trying to figure out what was your thought process. Counsel, have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you understand you're charged with cruelty to non-livestock, torture, etc.? And that is a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
That is the plea agreement, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. After reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. If I could just state one thing on the record. Your
Yes.
Honor. There were some mental health concerns, but we did have her referred to Carruthers. She was examined for competency and sanity, and both of those have been resolved.
All right. So she was deemed to be competent.
Yes, she does have some severe mental health issues, but she is competent and she was sane at the time of the offense.
All right. So why are you strangling a 2-month-old cat?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, I mean, I know you're sorry. You're saying you're sorry you did it. I'm asking why. Why would you do that?
I was under the influence of drugs.
But you were eating at Sonic when this happened?
Yes, ma'am.
What drugs are you saying you were under the influence of?
Methamphetamine.
Okay, so why did the meth make you strangle a cat?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I also have mental health issues.
And what's the mental health issues?
Bipolar.
All right, so again, we're back to the point. So I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were not on your medications?
No, ma'am.
All right, so you take meth. So how does that translate into strangling a cat?
At this point, you can see the judge trying to separate explanation from excuse, and that distinction matters a lot in court. The defense is presenting mental illness, meth use, and homelessness as contributing factors, but the judge keeps circling back to personal accountability. Notice how she repeatedly asks about the thought process instead of simply accepting "I was high" as a complete answer. That's because criminal courts often look at intent, awareness, and decision-making, especially in cruelty cases involving extreme violence. And the details here make the situation even harder to process. According to the judge, there were 2 cats simply running around normally, and somehow the situation escalated into one being tied with a rope. That level of escalation is exactly why the court appears deeply concerned about future danger and instability. The defendant admits she was off medication while using methamphetamine, which the court clearly sees as a catastrophic combination rather than a legal defense. What's also interesting is how the courtroom tone changes. Early on, the defendant leans heavily on apology, but the judge keeps demanding clarity instead of emotion. That's a powerful moment because many viewers will probably ask the same question the judge is asking right now. Can someone truly explain an act like this, or are some actions simply beyond rational explanation? Let us know in the comments. Do you think addiction and mental illness explain behavior like this, or should accountability outweigh everything else?
Your Honor, there's no good explanation for strangling a cat.
Well, no, I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes you're on drugs and you do certain things. So I'm just trying to figure out if meth caused her to strangle a cat, or is there something else going on?
According to the diagnosis from the psychologist, there was also some issues with bipolar disorder. When you mix being bipolar with meth and homelessness, it's all just a bad combination. I've asked her what her plans for the future will be. She's indicated she wants to work as a waitress. She eventually, once she's done with prison time, will live with her mother. She wants to avoid the bad people and the bad situations that she was involved with.
Okay, so how does taking meth, being bipolar, equal to strangling the cat?
As we said earlier, there's no excuse.
Well, no, I'm asking her.
Sure.
Like, what was your thought process? Because what I'm reading is there were two tabby cats running around. And so what go from two tabby cats running around enjoying themselves to double knotting a rope around one tabby's neck?
I don't have an excuse, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, I know you don't have an excuse, but I'm trying to figure out what was your thought process?
I'm not sure what my thought process was at the time.
Well, I mean, did you have a rope on you and go get a rope, or how did that work out?
I don't remember because I was on drugs.
All right. Anything else?
Okay.
All right. I'm going to sentence you to 4 years in prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with any animals or children. Well, I should say, or minors. So you're not to have any contact with minors or children. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Or animals.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what that means is if you decide to give birth and have a child, Child Protective Services, if they're doing their job, they're supposed to come in and remove that child. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
All right. In just one moment. All right. Who is the man you were with at the drive-in?
Jonathan Smith?
Jonathan Smith?
Yes.
All right. And there should be no contact with Jonathan Smith.
In the end, the court sentenced the defendant to 4 years in prison after finding sufficient evidence for felony animal cruelty. The judge acknowledged the defendant's severe mental health struggles and drug addiction, but ultimately ruled that neither removed responsibility for the crime. What stands out most about this hearing is how determined the judge was to understand the motive behind the violence, not just punish it. Even after the plea agreement was accepted, the court continued pressing for answers that never fully came. The sentencing conditions were also unusually strict and revealing. Beyond prison time, the defendant was ordered to have no contact with animals, minors, or even the man she was with during the incident. The judge's comments about future child protective intervention showed just how seriously the court viewed the potential risk factors in this case. This wasn't treated as an isolated bad decision, it was treated as behavior that raised long-term public safety concerns. Cases like this always spark difficult debates about addiction, mental illness, accountability, and rehabilitation. Some viewers may feel sympathy for the defendant's struggles, while others may believe the sentence should have been even harsher given the nature of the offense. Either way, this courtroom exchange leaves a lasting impression because it forces everyone watching to confront uncomfortable questions about responsibility and human behavior. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.
All right. That's all.
That's it, Jess. Thank you.
You're welcome.